Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Sulk stream. I hope you guys are having a good Friday. a happy Friday, a fun Friday. Getting ready for the weekend. Tonight we are doing a 4-hour show. So we are doing the first 2 hours at regular, and then the last 2 hours are premium. And we're going to be pushing gifted subs. We want to get as many people on the other side of that premium as we can. That's how we're going to do it. That's how we're doing it. I hope you guys are good. How's it going? Is everybody excited for the weekend? Are you guys ready? Do you have plans? Are you going to make me proud? Are you going to make good choices? Please make good choices, right? I'm your Sulk daddy, all right? I care about you, Sulk, deeply. I don't care if it makes sense. That's how I do it. Tonight we're talking about starter homes. The real estate situation in general. And we got a few things going on because remember we're doing 4 hours. So we're gonna hop around a little bit and see where the night takes us. You know how the Sulk stream works. Our main topic is just more of a suggestion of where we're going. So yeah. Anyways, guys, I don't see a reason why we should just, drag it out. I think we should just go ahead and get started because we got a long road ahead of us. We sure do. Anyways, get comfy, get cozy, get a nice bottle of gin. Just drink an entire bottle of gin and follow it up with a couple shots of 151 and then several beers. And then, I don't know, a bottle of Kirkland wine or two just to top the night off. And, we'll see what happens, maybe have a couple energy drinks, pop a couple Adderall, get real wild with it. Just absolutely reckless. Just get absolutely reckless with it. And yeah, so this is all good advice. I don't know how anybody would think that's a terrible idea. That is a terrible idea. Don't do any of that. Don't drink yourself to death and then take pharmaceuticals. That just seems like a recipe for disaster. Yeah. Anyways, if you're working, keep working. If you are driving, please continue to drive safely. I would appreciate it if you got home and then hit that like button. That helps me out a lot. I have my locals up and running too. If you want to hop on over to my locals at Incredible Sulk. And I also have my YouTube at Incredibly Sulky. So if you want to go ahead and follow me over there, that'd be great. That'd be fine. And I'd be happy with that. Tonight, we're doing Rumble Premium. So I don't think... Well, YouTube definitely won't be on. But I don't know about locals. I don't know the situation over there. We'll figure that out. Anyways, I'm the Incredible Sulk. This is the Sulk stream. This is the Sulk stream? I'm pretty sure. And this is Starter Homes Rage Bait. Enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, by the title of this video, we're going to be talking some shit about older people. Now, not all old people are bad.
Okay. All right. Okay. I got to get my boomer rage going. It's going to be a boomer rant night. I can feel it. I already feel the boomer rants coming on. They're welling up inside me.
Good boomers, but there's a lot of stuff online that makes it hard to like them.
Okay, that's a fair statement.
You may have seen that Twitter post where some boomer parents finally showed their son a bunch of college admission letters, and they never let him know that he made it into those colleges because they didn't want to be inconvenienced by the travel. Imagine on their deathbed.
Whoa. They didn't want to be inconvenienced. You got into Cornell. If that was like if that was the right, you got into Cornell and then your parents opened your mail and then said, oh, look, you got in. Well, we can't because we don't want to travel. I don't know where Cornell is, but we don't want to travel that far. And it seems expensive, so we're just going to go ahead and hide that from you. For our convenience. It's a very boomer thing to do. That is quintessential boomer. That is peak boomer. You changed the course of his life based on how convenient it was for you. Very boomer.
Boomer parents going, by the way,
Big B says, wow, thanks, Mom and Dad. That's like, I'd be pretty upset. I mean, I didn't go to college, and obviously, you guys can listen to me talk and shit, and you're like, this guy didn't go to college. He's stupid.
You got into a lot of good universities,
I'm a little stupid.
Me and your mother just loved you too much. Hope the planet doesn't burn up. More recently, you may have seen this grim TikTok where a guy paints the reality of owning a home in 2025.
Me and my wife went and did the pre-approval.
And now that kid that didn't get into those colleges or didn't go, he got in, he just didn't go. The kid that got into those colleges, he's like, now I'm shopping for a house, and the mid-range house is $450,000 to $500,000, something. Let's say a cool $500,000. A cool $500,000 to get a decent, not even a big, that's like 1,200 square foot house, right? Depending on the area. And he's like, well, I'm not making enough because I didn't go to Cornell. I had to go to like Full Sail or something like that. I had to go to DeVry. Is DeVry still a thing? And so now he's, I don't know, working at Taco Bell or something. Something like that. So now he can't afford a house. And his parents were like, we're not going to buy you a house either. So, because that would be inconvenient because we want to spend the rest of our lives on a cruise ship. Just various cruise ships. So we're not going to see you very much either. So take that into account.
For a mortgage loan.
Good luck.
And what the f*** are you talking about? It doesn't upset me for us because we aren't the average American family. I work a very niche job in the oil field. I make a very...
Onita says, I argued with a liberal Nepo baby trying to say a starter homes are still a thing, and he totally didn't get his $350K starter home from his inheritance. Yeah, that's bullshit. There's no way. Yeah, I mean, like, no fucking way. No, yeah. I mean, his parents bought him the house. Which is fine, but,
very good income. My wife
at least say that.
She does very good for herself, and combined, we have a very comfortable living in our home. But for the average American, this is way fucking far out of reach. I try to explain this to my mom. She's telling me, oh, y'all just go get you a little $200,000 house. Mama, these $200,000 houses are fucking rundown shack. We're looking at the numbers, looking at our income, looking at our credit, and they have us at $450,000, 5% down, which is $22,000. Thank God we got a little bit of money saved. They have our mortgage after PMI, after insurance, after taxes at $4,636 a month.
That's a lot. $4,000 a month? $4,300 a month. You also have the PMI insurance in there, and they add that PMI insurance is when you don't have a big enough down payment, right? So I don't exactly know how it works, but I know it's something like insuring in case you can't make the full amount or something like that, which is an added amount of money to your monthly mortgage. So damn, $4,300.
What the fuck are you talking about, okay? And the thing is, we could afford it.
Onia says $4K a month is insane. Fucking insane. It is insane. That's an insane. So you need to be making triple that, right? So you need to be making $12,000. Well, 13. You need to be raking in $13,000 a month. That is, what is that? $140,000 a year. That's $150,000 a year, something like that. That's a lot of money, right? That's a good amount of cash. And like if you're both making $75K, I guess that's not that bad, but then you're not going to be able to afford kids because you got to pay for childcare if you're both working, right? And so how much is childcare? Well, that's another, I don't know, couple grand a month? I have no idea. So I've said this before. This is all about depopulation, right? If you don't get a house, if you can't afford a house, there's no reason to like get married and have kids and the whole shebang. So you're never going to have stability in your life, right? And this lowers the population. You can see how the population is crashing as it is.
We actually can afford to spend that money on a mortgage every month.
Right.
But a $5,000 mortgage?
$5,000.
Who are y'all selling these fucking houses to? Because we are outliers, okay? Not everybody is fortunate to have the jobs that we have. What about the regular families that bring in combined $100,000 a year. They will never qualify for this. What the fuck is like?
I think online there's a lot of conversation about this. I think anyone young has seen all kinds of people talk about how it's not possible to own a home. But
Big B says, yep, I wanted to downsize and get acreage. 7% interest on 100K loan. Wait, 7K interest, 100K down? 100K down is really good. For a modular on 10 acres, 500K, my mortgage would be $3,600 a month. Fuck that. I mean, 100K down, too. That's with $100,000 down. I bet it was a nice 10 acres, though. But then you just, you put a modular home. So it's, basically a double wide. So, all the land value, all of it is land value. So, I mean, if you wanted to build an actual house, that's another $500,000. That would be a decent-sized house. What is that? 2,500 square feet, maybe? That's a decent-sized house. It's not enormous. It's a decent-sized house. Yeah, it's another $500,000. So that's $1 million right there.
still, people have boomer parents and relatives that just simply...
He is absolutely right about that. They can't hear it. They just can't hear it because they paid their mortgage collecting soda cans, right? And they would have to get a bag of soda cans a month. And then, well, that's our mortgage payment. And well, it's $500 this month. What are we going to do? Oh, it's a good thing. It's super easy to make $500. Even back then, it was super easy.
No, not real. So I thought, why don't we all come together? Good boomer.
Big B says, I don't want more than 1,500 square feet. Yeah, but, I mean, okay, so $400,000. It's building a house is not cheap, dude. There's foundation and materials and then labor. Unless you're going to do the labor yourself, then you save 40%. But building a house, I mean, I'm sure it's not that hard, but it's not that easy either.
The rest of us come together.
Christian says locals is lonely. It's going to be lonely.
Mutual hate.
It's going to be lonely for a while. You're going to have to roll with that.
For the situation we're in. We tapped into our chunky little analyst here, and we got it to pull.
Shimo says boomers suck. Yeah, he says that every time he pops
all kinds of homes from all over America for $250,000 to see just what you can get in this country as of right now. Now, when you're looking for a $250,000 property, where do you start, right? So
the moon? I don't know, not in America. I mean, if you want to live up in I don't know, where do all the Somalians live? Up in Michigan? All the Somalians and the Muslims and stuff. Maybe you get a $250,000 house. It'll be small. It'll be 800 square feet. But I think you could probably pull it off. But then you have to live with 1 million Somalians and stuff like that. So it's not going to be a good investment. The neighborhood is going to be garbage, and it's probably not going to be worth more money by the time you end up paying it off. So there's a reason why they're cheap, right? Because you just can't live there. Even working remote, right? If you work remote and you don't have to go anywhere, so you don't have to be in a city to make money, you still want to live in a neighborhood where it's not going to visibly get worse in the foreseeable. And if you keep just filling it with immigrants and Muslims and Hispanics and stuff like that, it's going to get rough. And then you're not going to gain any sort of financial footing in the world. So you're just going to get a worse house next time. And it's very difficult to build wealth.
Thought to maybe give us a baseline. Why don't we go to some major cities?
First World Refugee is on the locals, and I see it's on. Wow, look at that! My first locals comment.
And see what you can get for $250 grand.
Mr. Gigachag.
In New
All
York.
right.
First up, we have a 420 square foot suck shack out in Staten Island.
$230,000. 400 square feet. $400,000. 420. I'll be okay. So the 20 square feet is probably where the water heater lives. If there's a water heater. It looks like it has electricity, but I don't know. I mean, I assume it has to have a bathroom. $1,100 $1,100 a month. $1,100 a month. I mean, if you got nowhere to live, but $1,100 a month for 400 square feet. That's smaller than most apartments. That's cramped. That's smaller than most people's closets. Like that, most boomers' closets are bigger than that.
And I think 420 is appropriate because maybe in the 80s you could have got away with selling drugs here, some lame weed. That's not a viable business anymore. Now, this house is so good that they don't show you the inside. They will not give you...
It's not a good sign. I mean, it looks it looks the same. It's like 4 walls, maybe there's a window, and then, 24 square foot where your water heater is, if you have a water heater. And then that's also doubles as your closet. I assume they have to have some sort of kitchenette.
A photo of the inside. The backyard is big enough so that you could...
Everyone's hopping over to locals and be like, yeah, this works. It works. It works. It's just it's kind of a ghost town. Big B was the first sub over there, so thanks, Big B. I appreciate that.
Form a line of at least 20 or 30 customers, depending on what business you run out of here. And, not everything has to be drugs and sex. I mean, you could convert this to a restaurant. Maybe you put a small kitchen in there, a stationary food truck, if you will. There's a lot of...
A restaurant? A 400 square foot restaurant? You'd have to eat outside. There's no way.
Viable ways to at least pay the mortgage here. We can say that much. Hilarious to think what you could have got 30 or 40 years ago for $220,000, and now it's just this. The seller of the home says opportunity awaits. This one bedroom...
So I was watching Blank Check, that Disney movie from 1992, and he was buying a house, right? And he was offering them $130,000. It was 6,000 square feet, and it was a fucking castle. And I went and I Zillowed it today, and it's $6.5 million today, and yeah, $6.5 million, and the guy was offering $130,000. Now it's $6.5 million. It's a nice house. It's a nice house. But you're telling me people in 1992 could buy a castle for $130,000? That makes me pretty upset.
Room 1-bath bungalow in Midland Beach, conveniently located near schools, parks, beaches, shopping, and public transportation. Great investment opportunity, sold as is. Now, just going off the Zillow listings, it seems that you could actually maybe make something of this property. It's just on you to find a couple $1,000,000. For the low price of $250,000, you have a multi-million-dollar opportunity if you have the means. But if that doesn't tickle your fancy, well, we got something else. We got a 754 square foot 2-bedroom unit.
That's like twice the size, all right? And it's only $200,000. So, and there's a recent price cut for $20K, a $20K price cut, and it looks like a dump. It looks like an absolute dump.
Also in Staten Island, for $205,000, you can have this lovely
Who wants to live in Staten Island,
unit,
though?
which has what seems to be the remnants of a boba cafe.
The dog in the cage. He's just like, yeah, it sucks here, but whatever. I feel bad for that dog. I feel bad for the person that says, okay, this'll work. That ain't gonna work. That is not gonna work, dude. What is this? Is this an apron? Are you a barista at Starbucks?
I think you get the dog as well.
Okay, throw the dog in and it's a deal.
That dog don't look too heavy.
I'll pay $200,000 just to take the dog out of there. And I'll be like, come on, dog. We're going to give you a better life. All right?
To be there either. Jesus Christ. Oh, hey, guys. Neat nest. Hold up. Time out. If you're first...
I need a neat nest. I need a good neat nest. where I have like a piss bucket and like maybe a mini fridge full of like energy drinks, and I just sit there and I stink. I would like that. I think that could work for me.
First time viewer of the channel. I'm a big fan of
Just let my hair grow out so it gets all like fucking dreaded and shit, and like even my beard gets dreaded and stuff. And then I'm just sitting there playing. I don't know what I would play. I don't even know. I'm not a WoW guy. Tarkov. I've been playing Tarkov lately. I'm really bad at it. I get my shit stomped in Tarkov. It's not even fun, honestly. I have no idea what's going on. There's so many mechanics and stuff like that. I get loot and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? It doesn't. The bullets don't even go in the guns, right? And like I get a clip, and the clip doesn't go in the guns, right? And then I find bullets and a magazine and a fucking gun that all go together and stuff like that. And then I'm like, sweet. And then I go in and I get shot immediately and I lose it all. And I'm like, why is this fun? Why do Russians find this fun? I don't get those crazy people.
Eat nests and neckbeard nests. We're going to have to go ahead
Nice,
and get
Mr. Giga Chad. That's a good pick.
this a quick rating.
Over on locals, that's a good pick.
I'm going to go 5 out of 10 on this one, only because there's no gamer desk. I think a gamer desk would bring this up to a 7.5 out of 10 neat nest easily. Got to give kudos for the bank robber hat on the wall. I like
Nice.
that. That's a nice little addition. Anyways, let's look at the rest of the house. Now, I have to say, for the 205 grand, you're getting a nice spread in terms of style, all right? I like the spirit of this home. You know, Christmas every day. Just keep.
When is this? What is this, in like July or something like that? They just haven't taken their Christmas decorations down. And it's just some weirdo. It's just like one of those adult children and stuff like that. You know, like a Disney adult that like had been traumatized so greatly due to, all the nonsense that's been happening in the 21st century, that he just, or she, not going to be sexist here, just wants to live at Christmas time. Wants to live in Christmas all the time. There's a store in my little beach town that is specifically a Christmas store. Not that it's Christmassy like one time. No. Dead of summer, July, you walk in, it's freezing. Everything is Christmas themed. There's Santas, and then there's tinsel and stuff like that. And I wonder, because I know the rent is probably insane there. I wonder. No, I don't even want. They don't make money. There's no way. It is some boomer lady who just loves Christmas so much. She's like, I'm going to open up a store and pay $6,000 a month to have this little shack right here, right on the main street, where nobody's going to come in all the time. And I have the money to do that because I'm a hardworking genius like every other fucking boomer. Right, okay. You know, like a legitimate business could have gone there and like supported a younger family. But no, you just want to live in whimsy in Christmas land. So this is a beach town. People are like surfing and stuff. And, it's like bike week. And you have a bunch of Santa shit. Still there. It's still there. It's not going out of business. And I know you're not selling anything. Just one crazy old lady. She's honestly nice. She's nice. But still, why you got to do that? Why can't you just bow out? At some point, just bow out. Right? You made your money. You don't need to like have your kitschy little store on Main Street. You're not making money. I know that for a fact. And I'm sorry you're bored. But like, this is not the way to do it. Go. You're just driving up the rent for everybody else. And people are actually trying to survive. You're not trying to survive. You're trying to sell Santa Claus figurines in August. In a beach town. Okay, whatever.
Keeping a positive attitude. I like that. Now, as far as the bathroom, all you're going to have to do is replace that top drawer. Other than that, seems like a perfectly good bathroom. I like that this bedroom has sort of a sex room /
First World says beach towns are a great source of meth. Daytona is just like 30 minutes north of us, so I don't think there's like, you want to get meth, you go to Daytona, you're not going to have a problem. This is not the place for that.
John Wayne Gacy type of vibe. And honestly, I mean, even that curtain on the right, it also gives me a medieval feel. I'm conflicted in terms of what I really gather from this room, but I know that
How do they pack fudge then? There is a fudge place. I think it's honestly just right across the street. And it does have fairly good fudge. I know you're not talking about that. You're talking about like the Club Pulse kind of fudge packing, but be an adult. Be an adult. We're talking about Christmas stuff and real fudge, delicious fudge, little squares and stuff like that. And like this one's got nuts and stuff. They also have ice cream that they make on site. It's actually a legit place.
Of you would do wonderful things with
also doesn't make money.
This room. A couple other
I think the entire main street here is just old boomers who wanted to have like a retirement shop, right? Where they work maybe, I don't know, 0 days a week. They'll just have like some young girl stocking the shelves or something like that, and then pop in and then reminisce about the old times and be like, oh, I remember when I was a little girl and like you could get a chocolate bar for 5 cents, and then they're selling it for like $25. Like seriously? Oh, but it's like, really good German chocolate, so it's worth that. It's been here for like a year. You know.
Two features is you're near a marsh park, so I would guess that you're getting nailed with mosquitoes all day, and you're right next to some train tracks.
Cheddar says, I've never gone to a gay club, John. Missing out. The fudge there is immaculate.
Question what type of sleep you're getting. But hey, a house is a house, am I right? Now we're talking about New York, Staten Island.
Hard R, hey.
So let's take a look at an opportunity in the city. This listing does not mention the square footage because...
Big B says, anyone here want to see a grizzly I hit a few years ago? Yeah, I do.
It's probably just better if you see it in person.
Yeah. Well, that's the great thing about locals. You can put memes in the chat, and there's already a bunch of memes people are putting in the chat. And Mr. Giga Chad put the buff wolf outfit that I'm surprised. I mean, you held on to that. That show I did like a year ago.
For the low price
not even
of
a year ago, but
$250,000,
still.
you will get central AC in this room.
Hey, it's a room. That's a room. It's better than a car.
You get a kitchen in this.
Is that a kitchen? Is this a kitchen? There's no storage here. This is just a room.
And you get a bathroom connected to this room. This isn't yours.
Hey,
it's communal.
At least there's a bathroom, and you don't have to like walk down the hall and like fight a homeless person to take a shit. That's a positive, right? You don't want to get shanked when you have like a dump on deck, right? Like if you like need to take a shit real bad, right? And then like there's some homeless guy fented out, like just leaning over in the bathroom, and you're like, I have to deal with this? I have to deal with this guy before? So you have to fight off a homeless guy with a poop in your belly, right? Like right there, too. Right there. You would fight furiously. You would fight like a mama grizzly bear, right? Because, you have to do it quickly. You have to dispatch this homeless person quickly, or else you're going to shit your pants. And if you get stabbed or something like that, then you have to go to the hospital while you have to take a shit. So you have to hold in a poop, and you have to cover a stab wound. So you're like, oh no, oh, I'm bleeding out, but also I have to poop, right? And God forbid the ambulance gets stuck in traffic. Because then you're just like, I'd rather bleed out. I would rather bleed out. Can you just like stop putting pressure on my abdomen? I know that I'm going to lose quite a bit of blood. All right. But you pushing down on my abdomen is making it intensely hard for me not to shit my pants, okay? God, I wish I had my own bathroom. You see, but you don't have $500,000.
You get to go outside. And the entrance to the building.
Goofy Boots says people with stomach wounds don't hold it in. Okay, you maniac. How do you know that? Did you stab a bunch of people? Did you get stabbed?
Building is gorgeous. I'd love to see anyone that's older pretending that
I would hold it in. If I got stabbed in the stomach and I was like, I am too prideful to shit my pants. Look, I'll be like, okay, that hurt. And yeah, that was deep. I was pretty deep. I'm bleeding a lot. But like, can we stop at like a Starbucks or a McDonald's or something like that? Because like, I got one on deck, and it's coming. Okay, it's okay. Like, yeah, I'm gonna bleed a little bit on the McDonald's bathroom floor. Who hasn't seen a little bit of blood on a McDonald's bathroom floor? It's a pretty common thing. All right, I think people have kids in there sometimes, like actually give birth to children. Some guy will come by eventually with a mop and a bucket, and he'll do his best. It'll be a slapdash job, but he'll do his best. And they're like, okay, fine, we'll stop at the McDonald's in Little India. And then you're like, whoa. Okay, let's just get to the hospital. And it'll be a photo finish, and like, I don't know, maybe I'll die, maybe I won't. Okay, I'm not going to Little India. And like, because I know what the bathroom's going to be like there. There's going to be shit on the doorknob going in. So, and then I have to cover up my stomach wound, right? So I have to actually put Indian feces, which is worse than most feces, into my open wound. All right. So like, there's a bunch of logistics going into this, and I can't deal with that right now. Okay, things are starting to get pretty hazy. It's getting dark in here. Hello.
real estate isn't a fucking nightmare right now to show what they were living in at the same age. I'm just imagining some of your boomer parents doing the completely bullshit double down where they go, I'd live there if I had to. I'd live there if I had, a lot of the easier for you to say stuff. There's no fucking way. But that's New York. Maybe there's other...
Cheddar says I don't go to McDonald's often, so I don't use their bathrooms to shit. Sure. But, like, in an emergency situation, like, you're stuck in traffic on the highway and, like, something just smacked you in the face. Like, you're just like, oh, right? Like, say you had some very questionable food. And then you're like, oh, no, I have an emergency. This is a situation now. And, like, I have to go to a Starbucks, or I have to go to a McDonald's, or, like... I guess you could pull it off in a gas station, right? But I'd rather do a McDonald's or a Starbucks, right? Not a Walmart. You go to a Walmart and, like, homeless people poop in the Walmart. Don't go to the Walmart. Don't go, because that's really bad, too. Don't go to the Walmart. And they don't check their bathrooms. It's, don't go to the Walmart.
Options, right? Let's check out Chicago. Chicago is the Midwest, so the bang for your buck is going to be a lot better. And here, for $250,000, you'll get
The Hard Heart says, nah, the bathroom's going to be immaculate. The street, on the other hand. In Little India, the bathroom is just like spick and span, crystal, like clear. Just completely clean. But like walking in, you're going to have to be stepping over giant turds and stuff. Is it against their religion to use bathrooms or something like that? Or do they just like the squatting thing? I don't know. I don't get it. Why is it constantly flying out of them? Is it the food they eat? It's like they don't even notice that, like, shit is flying out of their pants. Like, it's like, you guys remember the Shawshank Redemption? Where he would, like, drop the dirt out of his pant leg? That's like how Indians live. That's how they live their life. They just shake it out of a pant leg. And they're like, well, back to my IT job. Hello, Apple gift cards? Apple gift cards. Yeah. I don't even bother pulling them down. They just shake it out of leg. There we go. There we go. There we go. And then you whip it at somebody. It's like self-defense.
A 2,400 square foot home, which, 5-bedroom, 4-bath. The inside doesn't look too bad. Slightly older, but look at this. You got a great communal family space. This kid...
Big B says sometimes you can find used needles, which is cool. Yeah. You can make a little collage about all the stuff you found at, truck stop bathrooms and stuff. Like a used condom, some dirty needles, a baby, that kind of stuff.
Kid is interested.
It's going to be hard, when you get that baby and you have to smush it into a book. So, like a flower. You find a flower and then you press it in a book so it stays, It's going to be difficult to do when you have a baby. I mean, not physically. I can push pretty hard. I can squish a baby like that. But emotionally, it's going to be a little rough on me.
Sit and scream, which makes me wonder what type of media access he has.
I'm sorry, but if your parents didn't care about you, why would I? Meow. Yeah, it's a Sulk stream, all right? It's going to be dark.
Because I didn't know anyone still watch those movies younger than 35. I like this. The dining room opens up into the living room. It's probably great on the holidays. Everyone's connecting, family getting closer together. Laundry room. This is great as a parent.
I mean, having a laundry room is legit. There's a lot. We don't have a laundry room. We just have a closet, and it's got the topper and lower, things, right? And so it's a little difficult. But if you have a dedicated room for laundry, that's actually pretty worth it. However, this one is horrifying. This looks like a place where you taxidermy roadkill, right? This is where dead bodies go to get cut up. It's not even but it is a dedicated laundry room. So that's a plus.
I think it's always good to have one location in the home that scares the fuck out of the child.
When he says a house without a laundry room isn't a house, dude. Ow. Ouch. I wish I had a laundry room. I don't have a laundry room. I wish I did. I don't. That's just I don't have a huge house. It's not a huge house, okay? We don't have a laundry room. I understand.
And it has a necessary task in there. Go swap the laundry. You don't like swapping the laundry?
Big B says he likes his laundry closet. Yeah. See? Somebody's on my side.
The dark? Then do it earlier in the day. Go swap the laundry. I don't know what a room of the house this is, but I appreciate this person's minimalism.
Zach says, I have a laundry room, but so do all the other people in the apartments. Do you have is it in the apartment or is it a general community laundry room? Because that's not a laundry room. That's a place, that's like a laundromat. That's different, right? A laundry room in your house is like a place where and you can walk in and you can store your laundry there. That's different, right? A laundry room in an apartment would be crazy. They usually have which is fine.
I'm starting to feel like every one of these homes is going to have a neat nest, and it just compels me to rate it, So we can kind of have a running tab on the side of all my neat nests that we find on these properties. This one's a 7 out of 10. Blank canvas.
Onia says that it's very gay that apartments don't have washer-dryer hookups. Some of them do.
It's a lot to work with. I love the commitment to gaming.
Zach says, just ignore me, John. I'm a miserable person. No, it's communal. Well, that's not a laundry room, bro. But this is the Sulk stream. You're in good company.
It's just up and game.
You're not the most miserable dude here, right? You are mid-miserable. You are, right? If I looked into the lives of a lot of these people, which I wouldn't want to do, I'd probably be pretty bummed, but maybe on the other hand, I'd be like, you know what? I don't have it so bad. So, two sides to every story.
Game. Just straight to it. Great neat nest, 7 out of 10. Honestly, 8 out of 10 neat nest. Like this one a lot. Anyways, let's move on. It appears that
Homeless get in there? Well, that is a problem. Bring a taser. Tase the homeless. I'm a big proponent of tasing homeless people, regardless if they're putting you in danger or not. They stink, and they're just always sleeping places. So I don't like the homeless. I don't like the homeless at all.
that maybe the house is split into two. I can't quite tell because this looks like another family room connected to...
Lucas says you don't have it so bad. I'm not saying I do. I'm not saying I do. But I don't have a laundry room. So, you know. And some people out there do. And I'm green with envy.
A pseudo kitchen, or maybe this is like a back house. The grayscale of this bathroom, it reminds...
Lucas says pepper spray is more effective, but what if they're Indian? You can't pepper spray Indian people. They smell shit all day long, right? So pepper spraying them is not going to affect their senses at all, and they also eat pretty spicy food. So, but no one's immune to electricity.
Reminds me of like just
You know,
apartment complexes, and it makes...
No, that's not true. Really super duper fat people are. Like, if you tase a super fat person, that doesn't stop them. They're just like, oh, wow, that's going through all my big fat. And it's weird because there's a lot of homeless people out there that are super fat. How are you homeless and also insanely fat? What's the deal with that? Why that? Why that? Why are you homeless, but also 400 pounds, 400 plus pounds? You don't think it would be a good idea to eat less and pay for rent more? It's just a thought. I'm not going to be your financial advisor or your doctor or anything like that. But maybe if you just cut down to 3 meals a day, then you might be able to afford rent. It's a thought. It's a thought. You know, you do you. Ride around on your bike with flat tires and stuff like that and scream at trash cans and shit and, you know, constantly screaming. Why are you screaming? What kind of stress do you have in your life? You lay in the sun, in the grass all the time. Are you late on bills? I doubt that. What stress do you have in your life? You've been homeless for years. Why are you screaming? Insanity would be my guess.
Makes me feel existential dread, but that can be changed. Just a little bit of paint. Look at this. Got a backyard, plenty to work with. All this for the low price of $250.
Zach says, I just got told by my doc I need back surgery or I'm in trouble. I'm a little bummed. Rock in a hard place. Damn, dude, that sucks. Yeah, damn, dude. Damn. Like, really, I don't know anything about back surgery, so a question from me would be absolutely pointless. Maybe you should use one of those inversion tables. I'm a doctor, trust me.
$50,000 in what appears to be...
Don't listen to me. I have no idea. I don't even know what's wrong with your back. Is it shaped like a question mark? Because that's probably for a doctor.
Southside Chicago. I'm not going to blanket say all of Southside Chicago is what Chief Keef and other... Chicago drill rappers have rapped about. But now this looks like a decent option. You're pretty far outside the city. I would need someone from Chicago.
Zach says, thanks, man. It's bullshit, and pain management is just there to legally and lawfully tell you to get fucked. Man, the healthcare system... I know, I've done episodes on the healthcare system in this country, but it is absolutely garbage. It is absolutely garbage. Like, you go to the hospital and have a baby, and they'll slap you with $1 million bill. And they'll be like, oh, well, I guess the baby was fine. We ran every test we could on it, not because we thought it was sick or anything, but just because we wanted to rack up your bill. And then people are like, well, how am I going to pay this? Especially if they're like a 19-year-old single mom or something like that. You're not. You're not going to pay that. There's no way you could possibly pay that. I have to pay that. When I pay for insurance, right? So that way, when something does actually happen, I have to go in, and even with really good insurance, I have to pay $100 a stitch to fucking, so it's like fucking 6 stitches, $600. That's the copay. That's what I'm paying. The hospital wants like 24 grand or something insane like that to put in 6 stitches. I'm like, are you fucking for real? Are you for real? Yeah, they're for real. They don't give a fuck about you.
So to comment on if this is convenient at all, because something I know about people in Chicago is they all
Renee says, my mother-in-law will not let me off the phone. Can you send help, please? Yeah. What do you want me to do? Call in a bomb threat? What am I going to do? Just like, we kidnap Renee's? Here, you send me the phone number, and then I'll tell her I kidnapped you and to send Apple gift cards to a certain address, and then she'll believe it.
Commute into the city. Most of them live in suburbs. But again, for $250,000 and a willing...
Zach says I could go on forever. I had to have 2 total hip replacements after a coup. My God. Are you old? What's wrong with your body, sir? I mean, not to, with all due respect, honestly, but are you old? Because, like, that's a lot wrong with you. Do you just have a certain condition? You don't have to tell me.
Willingness to suffer through a commute.
You don't have to tell me.
You can have your own place.
That sucks, bro.
I feel like this is one of those where someone older says,
See, you just gotta look hard enough.
but again, never a place that they would live.
So Christian made the call. Help is on the way. Zach's 44. Well, that's not that old. That's not great.
Out to the Midwest. It seems like you get...
Were you like in very hard construction your whole life or something? Like what kind of wear and tear causes that kind of shit? Because I know dock workers, like people who build docks around here, they can be pretty rough, pretty young, because they like carry like 500-pound like, you know, pylons on their shoulders and shit like that. That's rough work.
Some bang for your buck. Here's another option in Chicago. Same price range. You only get about 972 square feet. I like the medieval...
It's getting better. This ain't bad. This looks kind of cool.
...nature of this property. Weirdly, the outside feels like a home I would see in London. Somewhere, maybe not central London, but somewhere in England. But
I wouldn't live in London. No. You're asking to get stabbed. I would not live in London. I wouldn't live in New York, and I don't like cities in general. I used to go to San Francisco a lot to do like comedy and stuff, and hated it. Going to like San Francisco and LA and shit, I hated that. I hated doing that.
the inside is just that classic American gray. It's all just fucking gray. I like the different floor
You're a
textures
nurse
here.
for old
Wood
people.
into this
Okay.
nice marble back into a softer
Just
wood.
bad luck,
I don't
huh?
mind that. I have no clue if that's the wallpaper or this door got hit with like a symbiote. That is a haunting border around that trim. Jesus Christ. Nothing a little gray paint can't take care of. And if you're wondering, hey, could this home possibly deliver me on a gray kitchen? Yes, it can. It can hit you with a gray kitchen.
Every house is this weird gray color. I think they call it millennial gray. I guess that makes it easier to sell, but it's ugly as shit.
God, I like the skeleton. Keep that. If you're buying this place, keep this skeleton. Yo, the white handles on the knives, I don't hate that. That feels exotic. I like that, dude. If I'm buying this place, I want the skeleton and the white handled knives.
Well, apparently it's a buyer's market right now. So you can ask for all kinds of wild shit, right? And there's all kinds of people out there being like, oh, house prices are going to drop. And some people are buying it. I'm not buying it. I don't buy that shit. You're telling me house prices are going to drop to like a reasonable level next year? I see that all over the place. But you got to understand that like hedge funds and places like Zillow and BlackRock, they'll actually pay YouTubers to put out false information, right? And they'll say, oh, well, housing prices are going to drop. You better not buy a house now. You better never buy a house, right? Because it's just not worth it. Blah, 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 blah. And then these places, BlackRock and shit, come in. They swoop up every bit of extra inventory they can, right? And then they'll just rent it out to you for the rest of your life. So, of course, they don't want you buying a house because that's taking a customer away from them, right? I don't believe them. I don't fucking believe you at all. No, I don't think house prices are going down, especially not in American dollars. Geez, they keep pressing out, pumping out American dollars more and more and more, adding like $1 trillion a year in debt. You're telling me house prices are going to go down? I doubt that. I think you're full of shit. Oh, but the data, look at the data. Oh, look at all this data. Fuck that data. That doesn't mean anything. Your data means nothing to me. The data, look at the data. Fuck you.
Crazy, dude. And look at this, it's got a gym. That's actually very sick. It's something to have a home gym. Not...
Big B says, I've read rates will drop, but prices will increase. Doesn't make sense to me. If rates drop, prices will increase. That's a guarantee, right? Will rates drop? I mean, there's a good chance of that happening. I don't think prices are going to come down. The price is the problem, right? Because you can spend 14%. You can have like a 14% loan on like $100,000 house. You're going to be okay. But if you're taking like a 5 or 6% and the house costs $400,000, that is way too much. That is way too. This is why whenever you talk to boomers, they're absolutely tone deaf. Well, when I bought my house, it was 14%. I borrowed on 14%. Yeah, the house only cost $50,000 though. So like that 14% was like nothing, right? If I go and get the same house is like $400,000 or $500,000. Right? If I go and take a 7% loan out on that, I am paying way more money. Way more money. That turns into like $1.2 million. Right? You didn't have to pay that. You maybe paid $65,000, something like that. I don't know the math, but no.
Not a luxury that many enjoy. And for whatever size room this...
Tejas says, John's run on emotion, not logic. I don't have to. I don't have to be logical or anything like that. Nope. I do what I want.
This is actually so much to work with. Great job to the original owners.
Zach says rates aren't going down until a new monetary system is put in place. Yeah. I believe that. They're going to have to replace the monetary system at some juncture, right? Which is probably why they're trying to push this CBDC thing, which is central bank digital currency. Will that happen? I don't know. There's a lot of things that might happen. But we're just not going to be... We can't just keep using dollars. It's not going to work. What are we, $37 trillion in the hole? It's not. They're going to print out as many dollars as they can. It's going to hyperinflate. And then we're going to be like, oh, well, we better use something else. So then, okay, I guess we're just going to go to crypto. Everyone's using crypto now or some stupid bullshit. Don't fucking buy crypto. Buy gold. Buy assets, okay? Go and buy the car. Go and buy the fucking house, all right? They will be worth money. Whatever money we happen to use at that juncture, go buy that. You buy crypto, and they might rug pull that shit. They still might rug pull Bitcoin. You know that? That's very possible that one day Bitcoin could just be worth nothing, and then millions and millions of people all over the world will be absolutely broke. Will that happen? I don't know. Maybe, but it can happen. So that should be like, do I really want to invest so much money into crypto? Do I want to stack crypto? No. Stack gold, stack silver, stack tangible assets that you can hide from the government. Yeah. I mean, don't do that. Don't do that.
We'll have to relocate the light switch so you can't have a mirror in the bathroom. But, that's just a little electrical job. Nothing you can't afford, right? I don't know the nuance of Southside Chicago, but that's where these last two properties are at. You know, if you're thinking it's anything like a
Hard Art says programmable money could be effectively used after November, but it will have expiration dates on under the guise of fighting inflation. But all of it means you can't save. You know, I can fight inflation. I could do that. Watch. Stop printing fucking money. Stop printing money. Just stop doing that, and then inflation is over. Then inflation, it's over, right? When you put an expiration date on money, it's not money anymore. It's coupons. That's what that is. You have a coupon. You worked your ass off for a coupon, and yeah, it'll expire if you don't spend it by this certain date. That's a crazy idea. That is a crazy, stupid, batshit idea. But will they try to enforce it? I wouldn't doubt that, right? Yeah, you're not going to be able to save anything, so people are going to be like, well, I'm going to go buy gold. I'm going to go buy silver. I'm going to buy something that I can actually save. And they'll probably make that illegal. They've done that before.
Roblox server, you think the whole place is a war zone, but I'm sure there are parts that are just fine. Now, on the surface, $250,000 for 1,000 square feet and a small backyard. On paper,
Dan Snot says they aren't printing money, dummy. It's all digital now. Duh. Shut up. Shut up, Dan.
it doesn't sound terrible.
I'm not. Shut up.
But again, you run these numbers through like a mortgage calculator. You're probably, by the time you pay this place off, going to have paid double, if not more. And it's just crazy to think that, again, someone or a family would have to give up $500,000 in earnings for 1,000 square feet. Now, 1,000 square feet, that
Was it $500,000, or was it that with the that's with the loan, right? Because most people aren't buying cash. Boomers will buy cash because they have that kind of cash, right? Because, you know, super smart investors, geniuses, all of them. Asset prices just exploded, and they're all like, I'm going to have 9 Airbnbs, and I'm going to outbid this young family because I'm a genius and I deserve 9 fucking houses and a yacht. And I'm just going to not even like rent them out. I'm just going to sit on them. I'm just going to sit on them. What will happen is when the boomers die out, the housing market probably will crash, right? Because there's going to be a bunch of houses that go on sale. It's going to be inherited by, you know, people, and they're not going to be able to afford to maintain these houses, and they also don't want to live in them because a lot of these boomer houses are like, they're gaudy. They are ungodly huge. 5, 6, 7,000 square feet with, like, you know, pool halls and bowling alleys and gigantic swimming pools and shit like that. I've seen them. I've seen them. And yeah, they're going to go for sale for an absolute song because no one's going to be able to afford to manage that, upkeep that, right? And so they'll probably fall into disrepair, a lot of them. The ones that are actually going to be valuable are like from 1,500 to like 2,000 square feet. Those houses are remaining pretty steady. A lot of boomers want to move into smaller houses just because the upkeep is so expensive on their current houses, right? And there's only 2 of them because all their children are adults and they've moved out and stuff like that. And on the other hand, younger people, millennials, Gen Z and stuff like that, are trying to get into starter homes, right? Reasonable sized starter homes just so they can buy something, right? Which is usually 1,500 to 2,000 square feet. Would be a nice house to have. And so houses that size, they ain't going down. They're going up, in my opinion. I don't think gigantic houses are going to be continue to go up and up and up.
that ain't bad for like a couple or an individual, but committing to a place for 30 years, I mean, it's asking so much of you. And for the amount of money you're paying, I mean, you could argue that all your money is just going into the place. So do you even have any?
Cheddar says gold is a good long-term once currency devalues to a point that it doesn't make sense to use it. Yeah, I mean, and it will. It is a mathematical fact that the currency will eventually hyperinflate, and we're probably half a dozen years from that. I don't know, 6 to 10 years. I don't want to make predictions because I don't exactly know. But, like, it can't be that far off. It's definitely in our lifetimes. It's definitely going to be in our lifetimes. But it's going to hyperinflate regardless because no fiat currency ever has not hyperinflated. That's what fiat currencies do. So, yeah, buying gold would be pretty smart. Having assets that you own would be pretty smart. Even taking out a loan is not the worst idea because, like, every year the money that you borrowed is worth less and less. And so, you know, as long as you can keep making money, you're essentially paying less for a loan. But that's on you. Not being in debt is also a really good idea.
Personal sense of freedom, you know, does it greatly change how you...
Silver is worth $42 an ounce? Holy shit. Holy shit. Damn. Wow. Damn.
Operate in your day-to-day life? Do you start saying no to things just to
I remember when it was like $8 to $12 an ounce.
smile and say, now I've got a house that's 45 minutes with traffic outside the city. Yay. Now, I think what's funny is maybe someone would say...
Gold is worth around $3,500 an ounce last time I checked. Yeah. Yeah. And it's going to continue. It'll be worth 10 grand by the end of the decade. I'm pretty sure about that. You know, I'm not that sure. I wouldn't doubt it, though.
Say, well, you're looking in big cities. Obviously, it's going to be expensive to live there, despite...
Gerald says, fuck, I'm an hour late. Did John tase anyone before I got here? No, man. No, this is a peaceful show.
You know, larger cities probably having more opportunity for employment. Fine. Let's have it your way. Let's go to Des Moines, Iowa. Now, I'm going to put one on the board for the boomers and say, don't say there's nothing out there, because there's something, right? Have you been praying for an opportunity to own a home? Well, God is calling you, because I got an entire church for sale. $250,000. 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 10,000 square feet. Known from.
You guys, we have a cult. We could buy a church. We could have it's 10,000 square feet for $250K. That's nothing. That's nothing. So, like, if each one of you gives me like $1,000, then we can have our own cult, our cult headquarters, and an actual church and stuff. 10,000 square feet is a lot of space, right? We can have the barracks. We can have like the meth cooking kitchen. We can have the, I don't know, the sex room, the sex hall. The sex hall.
Imagine you and your people just posting up here. I don't know, to watch.
Me and the gang. I'll be on the pulpit and stuff like that, just like, screaming about boomers and fucking inflation and shit. Like, we got screwed, and then you'll be sitting in the audience, sitting on the pews, in a big old black lady church hat with a fan. Yeah, hallelujah. Yeah, I want you guys all to act like that.
Fucking Love Island.
We're gonna have potlucks. It's gonna be badass.
Or something. The stained glass is
that is legit. I mean, that is ostentatious right there. That is legit as fuck. I mean, that's expensive glass work, dude. I mean, if one breaks, it's over. Like, I ain't paying to get that shit fixed. But, like, we're just gonna be super cool. I like the one couch in the middle. They're all like, where do I put my couch? Where am I going to put my couch? It's 10,000 square. Where do I put my one couch? Just anywhere, I guess. Just anywhere. Christian for $2 says, let's get the ball rolling on this one. Yeah, there we go. We are 0.01% there with that $2. I don't know. Do the math for me.
This is insane.
But where are we going to put the couch? That's the important question. These guys seem to have figured it out. Let's just pop it right here. It's good feng shui. Just put the couch right there. Right in the fucking middle. It's one couch. It's one couch. You don't even have a couple of chairs. You don't have a side table. There's no lamps. You have one couch. I bet his TV's huge though. And he's just like, I just wanted to buy a church. And I'd be like, I get it, dude. I know this is a guy. I know it's a dude. Because I want this. I want this property. I want this for all of us. And then I'll let you guys come. And then we'll I don't know, we'll do stuff. I don't know what. We'll figure it out.
Dude, look at this open space. Start a cult. What are you waiting for, bros?
Thought says, I'm so glad you're finally finding a starter home for the cult, Sulk. This shit's coming together. This, when I started this cult, I was all like, no one's going to be a part of this. But now, the ball's starting to roll and the pieces are starting to fall into place. I'm pretty proud of myself. We got this thing going. We got sacrifices and stuff like that. And there's going to be rituals and, the church, the black lady with the fan and yeah. Preach. I'll be like, okay, you could stay.
Now
you can
this
stay.
makes sense because
I'm just gonna have there's gonna be a cadre of enormous black grandmothers. It's like, wow, they're fat, but they're definitely on my side.
Right off. 250 grand.
They call me Sugar. Hey, Sugar. Hi.
Out 2.5 million in. Everything tax deductible. You just
Hard Art says wanking in a church bathroom feels like a sin. Well, it is, technically, yeah. But I would want to do it in the middle of the hall so you can hear that, the echo, just it's bouncing off the walls. Sounds like a bunch of us are doing it. Because you don't want to feel alone when you're jerking off.
own a church. Look at this creepy
That's just sad.
ass room. How many people do you think got exorcised or potentially just died during a church?
Do I get the piano? And what is this room? This looks like... What is this room?
Dinner here. Oh, wait, this is a bedroom. There is something Kubrick-esque about this room, man.
Zach says, I feel good yanking it with the Lord. Yeah. At least, yeah. But he's not, thrilled about it. He's just sitting there judging you. At least you're not alone.
Oh, my God, this shit makes my hair stand up, dude. This image is a blue chew for all
Hard tries to synchronize with the echo. Wait, okay, so it's... Okay. You really... That would be tough, right? And so you get a rhythm going. All right. All right, now we're doing it. That'd be a lot of focus, and I need to be locked in to actually get anything done. So, but give it a shot.
the hair on your body. 30 seconds of eye contact with this. You are a porcupine. Oh my fucking God. Yo, the stained glass. I kind of love it. Look at this, dude. You can run a Depop store out of here.
Yeah, I mean, Zach's, if you really need to jerk it, you can go into the confessional booth, right? That'll just, you just, put a sock on the door handle of the confessional, and, we all know what you're doing in there. What else are you going to do in the confessional, right? I mean, I already know what you did, because there's cameras everywhere.
Gotta love this. The classic summer camp shower where you hold your fucking balls with pure
There's
feet.
cameras everywhere. In the toilet, looking up.
You're in agony, praying that people don't come in and prank you. Not speaking from personal experience. If you buy this place, you should get to keep the
Hard R says stained glass and stained carpets.
organ. Not the organs buried underneath, but the
Ew.
actual organ. And it's got an elevator. Look at this. 70s vibe. Creepy as hell.
Zach says, I'm not Catholic, silly. So you shouldn't have a problem shooting ropes all over the confessional. Yeah, you're good. You're good to go. There's an elevator. Cool. That is cool.
You don't know if this is going to an executive office or your
It goes straight to hell.
last minutes on Earth. Look at this beautiful goon cave right here.
It's got a stripper pole. That's good. I mean, what's a church without a stripper pole? A regular church, I would assume. But That's a big fat one too. This is for the big fat black ladies, right? Because you know that shit's sturdy, right? I mean, it's gonna be load bearing.
Here. And it's got a pole in the
Ew.
center. So if things are going real bad, you can start live streaming. Yo. They got 3 fucking...
Critical Thoughts says slimy condoms on the floor in the confessional like a VIP booth at a strip club. No, that's like a gay dance club. That's a ew. But ew.
I know it's a bunch of dumbass dudes living in here. Every desk got the fucking gamer setup. This would be great, bro. In your early 20s, you and the guys just fucking hold up in the church.
No. Right? That's actually a sick mess hall, dude. We'd have dinner there, and then I'd constantly, we'd be doing... We'd be doing some cosplay and shit, dude. And, like, it would borderline on sacrilege. I'm not going to lie to you. It would borderline. It would be like, I'd be like, this is a joke and all, but, like, now we're pushing it kind of far. If I'm doing, like, the Last Supper type of thing where I'm like, one of you will betray me. And I have to pick one of you each month, and then it's just like, and I'm like, well, that wasn't the guy.
No pool table. These guys are fucking up. This dinner space is great, though. Massive commercial kitchen. I'm in love with this place, dude.
Legit. I mean, like, a good kitchen is worth it, dude. Like, especially if you're like, doing the Last Supper all the time, you're gonna need some room to work. It's a little ugly, but we can redo the cabinets.
I want this. I'm leaving LA. Now, where in Des Moines, Iowa is this? Let's just have a gander. I love the description of this place. Brick residence. Features prominent architecture and gorgeous stained glass throughout. New renovations include chef's...
I like his the negative on the CRT. This is a good touch. This is good touches. I like this. You got the chair. That's cool.
Kitchen with stainless appliances, full bathrooms with showers, laundry room, quality flooring, plumbing, updated electrical, fresh paint throughout, landscaping, and more. Living room designed for acoustics features 30-foot tall cathedral ceiling. Main level master features 2 large sitting rooms. You just want to
guys, I think we got to buy it, dude. We got to buy that shit. I just don't see how we could not buy that shit.
Bill? Separate closets, new bathroom with a walk-in tile shower, and antique vanity. Carrier heat pump and gas boiler, architectural roof. I guess was built in 2018. It's zoned for residential. I mean, this thing is set to go. Now you're all the way...
It is. It's zoned residential? Why is a church zoned residential? I don't know. Zoning is retarded. Zoning is absolutely retarded, and that's just another way for them to make money. Zoning is stupid, and I'll tell you why. Because back in the day, the Dizzy, if you will, zoning didn't exist. And so you could have, like, your house and then set up, like, a little cafe in your living room and shit, and people would pop in and out, and, like, that's how you'd run your business. But now you have commercial zones and you have residential zones. So you have to buy 2 properties, right? And then buy a car to transport yourself between those properties. And that just doubles everything, right? That doubles the cost of everything. And then, don't worry about that because fucking prices of everything are going up too. So now you can't even afford to have a business, and you can't run a business out of your home, right? That's stupid. That's fucking retarded. I would run a business out of my home. I think I can. I don't know. I'd have to check into that. I don't think I have any rules against it. I don't have an HOA. I think this might be mixed use, maybe. Maybe not.
In Sac City.
Is it tax exempt too? Well, technically we are a cult. And if we set up shop in a church and we have like the strippers and stuff going around the pole and like the jerk off booth and stuff, and I'll be like, hey, these are our beliefs, all right? So I think we could get tax exempt status, and we'd be raking in cash. We would be raking in cash. So it would be weird, but I would have this whole thing going. This is a good idea. This is a good idea, guys. You guys are on board, right? Kitty, are you on board? She's on board. She's on board.
I mean, if you're running a fraternity out of here, that's
The hog cranking room. You're right. I don't want to call it the jerk off station. That's classless. We'll call it the hog cranking room.
probably the best place you could be. It's home to the world's largest popcorn ball. That's cool. Oh, it's just a cool 2 hours.
Really classing this joint up. We'll have it written in neon right above the hog cranking room.
From Des Moines. So any shot at having a job, it's just a cool 2 hour, which is a normal commute. What are you bitching about? 2 hours is a super normal commute. I don't know why you're complaining. You know?
Zach says, seriously, let's make the cult thing work for us. I'm not above it, dude. Seriously. No one here is above it. Let's just be honest, okay? You might think you're above it. You're not. We know. Don't be like that. You're going to be the one that betrays me. You're going to be the one at the table. You're going to be the Judas. Filthy Judas.
We used to walk 7,300 miles in the snow to get to school. I don't know why you're bitching about driving in a fancy old car 2 hours to your job. You should be happy that you have a job in the first place. Corporations are the ones creating the opportunity. You should have some respect. I don't know why everybody's so mean to Jeff Bezos. He's out there making sure everybody can eat.
Okay, because Jeff Bezos is an asshole. I know Jeff Bezos is an asshole. I can tell. Look, I'm not even being political here. I honestly don't know Jeff Bezos' politics or anything like that. And I'm not talking about like the corporate, the man. No, the dude's an asshole. I guarantee you. Am I against what Jeff Bezos is doing? No. I give money to Amazon all the time. All the time. Every day. But I know that guy's an asshole. I know that for a fact, dude. I just know the type. He's a fucking prick. I guarantee you. And he's a doucher too. He's an absolute doucher. Guarantee you. By the way, this episode is brought to you by Amazon. Go buy shit now. I'm just kidding. They wouldn't support us.
He's doing what most others can't. You want to know another place buzzing with opportunity in terms of places to live and a home to grow in with a family? Let's talk about Oklahoma City. $250,000 gets you a 1,300 square foot home, which on the outside
doesn't look too bad. Zach says, ooh, we just met, Jonna. I'm Judas already. Fuck, I was already having an interesting day, man. Well, shit moves quick these days. You know, technology and shit. You know how it is.
looks like something.
I mean, you're not going to get like burned at the stake. I mean, you might. There's like a 1 in 13 chance that will happen. So that's a significant chance.
Making Minecraft, I feel this would be designed.
You got to roll the dice. You know, will you be Judas this month? Then you get like, I don't know, crucified or some shit. I don't know what happened to Judas.
And by your 10-year-old.
I'll give you like 30 pieces of silver. No, I'm not going to do that. That's a lot of money. I'm going to keep that 30 pieces of silver. And I don't know, I'll crucify you, I guess.
But don't let the stone architecture deter you, because whoever designed this home was thinking, right? Is the backyard fucking frightening? Yeah, but just look past that.
Yo! That is horrific, dude. Why is... Boarded up. At least these are windows. They look new, too. This is horrific. I mean, with a little care, it could just look frightening. I would buy the church, honestly.
Because it would be your backyard. You have a stable for a war.
Okay, that's... At least it looks like it's made out of stone.
Chariot and various horses. If you want to torture someone, there's a great spot for that as well.
I do need a torture room.
You even got a PVC pipe and miscellaneous copper to lure in any potential thieves
Naturally.
into your torture den. But the inside of the home looks great. Looks
By-
like any other.
By the way, we are doing Rumble Premium at 8 o'clock. So we're going to go 8 to 10, and it's going to be Rumble Premium. If you guys want to donate, there's a lot of people that are already members, but if you guys want to donate some gifted subs to get as many people through that barrier as possible, I would appreciate that. I'd be
in the valley
stoked.
in Los Angeles. This could be in Calabasas. I'm not shitting you. Beautiful starter
Texture's still loading. Yeah.
home. Paper thin walls. So if you're piping.
Also, over on Locals, I don't know if Locals is gonna. I don't know what Locals is gonna do. I'll see if people are still there.
Down your partner, anyone staying for the weekend would definitely know. Brand new appliances, wonderful fridge. I mean, for $250,000, this looks pretty good. Now, I say this with love in my heart and personal experience. Shout out to all my people in Oklahoma City and Tulsa. I think we know what the real challenge of having.
Zane says, "Sorry, John. The little bit of Frozen, the little bit of money I have is going towards torturing Frozen. I get it. I get it. I get it. No worries."
This beautiful home would be. It would be.
Cheddar says Frozen deserves it. He deserves torture, and that's it.
Living in Oklahoma City.
He doesn't deserve like human kindness or respect or anything like that. He's,
And anyone there would tell you that. I'm not saying Oklahoma City.
The stream stopped on Locals? What? Why? That's weird.
It's a bad place to live. I'm saying living there takes some grit. For the $250,000.
It says it degraded. I don't even know why it would. Why did it degrade? I don't know. Why did it degrade? I don't know. That's not on me.
It would be on you to keep your sanity and find employment. But on the upside, you'd have a beautiful home. And shout out to Bricktown. Some great pool tables in Bricktown. Now, if you want to keep on the subject of bang for your buck, we got to head over to New Orleans. You can have this wonderful home, which would probably cost you $1 million in Second Life or hours of time in The Sims. But in real life, you can have it for the low price of $230,000. This is a 5-bedroom, 4-bath, 5,000 square foot home. And let me tell you, the realtors did a fantastic.
Me too. I just dropped $70 on Locals too. Does that count? I don't know. I don't know what the deal. Why is Locals shutting down on me? That's
Fantastic
weird.
job with the photos. When looking at pictures of a home, I think it helps to know where the sunlight is coming from. And the realtors have made sure that you know where the light is coming from. They've put Michael Bay flares on all the windows. But
Oh, is that what Windows do? Oh, I forgot what Windows do. And look, they're on the reflections too. So, thanks for that. Not on this one. But thank you. I was like, I wonder what Windows do. Oh, they let light in. I can tell by the lens flare. This is very helpful. I just thought they put a bunch of buttholes everywhere. But no, this is to indicate light entering the room. And are these ceilings like 6 feet high? It looks like it's like Hobbity. It's a very low ceiling. Hi. Oh, I'm so glad I'm home. Whoa! Watch out. This thing right here. This thing would be dangerous.
never mind that. This house is beautiful. This looks like the courtyard to a cartel boss's home.
That ain't bad. I mean, it looks ugly as shit, but it's roomy.
It also could be a scene in Squid Games. Honestly, the low res of these photos is just making me...
It's not the photos. The house itself is low resolution. It's kind of Minecrafty. And it's in Minecraft. It just looks like shit, dude. It's not the photos. The house is just blurry.
think of every cartel shame.
Just everything's just kind of out of focus. It's very disorienting, right? But when you get drunk, you're like, this ain't that bad. But then you think you're still drunk the next day, which is actually very, very scary.
Killing I've watched online.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what all these rooms feel like. I don't know what it is about low res photos. If you took
It's
these on a
backroomy.
higher res camera,
You're right. It does look backroomy, right? Like you slipped into like another dimension or something like that, and you're like, oh, wow, the resolution here sucks.
I feel so bad, but each of these images gives me a really bad feeling.
It's that ugly ass yellow paint. That is some ugly ass yellow paint. And then they're like, let's do the whole house in it. Let's do every room in this like faded yellow, like this like a leftover McDonald's sign that's been sitting in the sun for 2 decades. It's like, it's a very gross color. Yuck. But the church, it's still available.
Did not spend enough time in New Orleans to even comment on what this neighborhood would be like. Judging by the ceiling fan and the general attitude of you figure it out, I'm wanting to guess that owning this home might take a little bit more than $250,000. Now, let's look at our spec.
I mean, okay, you buy that for $250K, and then you're going to need to put in at least another $300,000 or $400,000 just to make it like reasonably livable. I mean, like, I don't know. It really depends. You could live in it in the way it is, but like, would you want to?
Spectrum, a single room in New York, a whole church, 2 hours outside of Des Moines, Iowa.
Ooh. Oh, okay. I thought the church was somewhere not outside of Des Moines. Ew. If it was, I wouldn't. If it was like in like way up in like Montana or something like that, that'd be okay. Not anywhere near Des Moines.
Minecraft home in Oklahoma City proper, and the Grand Theft Auto Vice City house up in northeast New Orleans. I feel it's pretty clear that at $250,000, you're going to be at least a half an hour from.
Zane says, "You need to see my trailers. My former landlord rents 2 to 4 bedrooms for $400 or $500. It was a low point in my life. $400 or $500 is not bad, dude. 2 to 4 bedroom though, $400 or $500. Even if it's a trailer, who gives a shit? That's nothing."
The city center. And if not that, you're going to be in a city that maybe is just has a lower population. So maybe there's less to do and less opportunity. But we might be thinking too narrow, you know, because when you own a home, it doesn't have to be on land. What if it's on the water? Okay, up here in Portland, Oregon, you can live on the river for $220,000.
Hey!
This is a section of an old Chinese shipping boat that has been repurposed and rezoned as land to live in. Now, from the outside, this house looks great. For $220,000, I would love to live on a river. The only downside, I would say, is that haunting gray. Gray.
It doesn't look that
bad. I don't know if
bad.
it's millennials or who's to blame, but gray.
It doesn't look that bad.
We've got to work together, guys, to get gray out of homes. It's fucking. If you have a friend that lives in a gray house or apartment, just put your hand on their shoulder and say, "Bud, I'll help you paint this thing. Just anything but this. Let's add some color to your life."
Painting is like a lot of work, though. Like, we painted a room in here, and it was like a lot of work, and it doesn't. I mean, like, it looks good, but like, I'm not an expert painter. But we did it. It you know, there's a few missing, but it's fine. Maybe I should paint this room. There's really no point. I got a green screen. You see, it's a big. That's something.
Let's smile. 220 G's, this, I think, is reasonable to attach yourself to for 30 years. I think you could live on waterfront for 30 years. 880 square feet, you know, some would say that's a bit of a smaller home.
It's kind of tiny. That's kind of tiny. 880 square feet with no yard and, like, you're right on the water. I mean, I'm not saying you can't do that, but that's kind of tiny.
But, you know, I think it's a sacrifice that's worth making to live on the water. Honestly, out of everything we've seen here, this is probably the most appealing, right? Sure, it's a cozy living space, but you get a lot of amenities, and you're near.
But did you see that Franklin stove? That was cool. Big B says houseboats in the new Northwest. You have no idea how awful that would be in the winter. I don't. I have no idea. I have no idea how awful that would be in the winter. Snowy? I mean, like, right? Because if you're like walking down and like it's snowing and you're drunk and then you slip on a piece of ice and then into the water you go, you're dead. That's it. You're dead. You're going to freeze to death before you get to your house, and then like you drop your keys and you got like 2 minutes. You got 2 minutes to live before you freeze to death, and then it's just over.
A lot of stuff. Now you're away from Portland downtown, which these days might be a good thing. I've been there recently. It's feeling a bit tough over there. Godspeed to you all. You're on your own little island here.
Cheddar says, come to Canada in February and try to live that boat life. No, I'm not going to go to Canada in February. That seems like it would be very cold. Why would I do that? That seems too cold for me. No thanks.
Hayden Island.
Hayden.
I just wonder if this island is man-made, and then in 10 years the water line raises and destroys your house, and the bank goes. And if you're a boomer that's being forced to watch this,
I don't know. Like, I live in Florida, and like the water seems to be where it always is.
Stand up from the couch and start punching the air.
In the ocean for like the last 1,000 years, at least. I don't know. I haven't been around that long, but like, pretty sure it's still just there.
Feel like you got one on the board, because you did. I mean, this place looks great. We've covered a lot of ground, Midwest, a little bit of the South, Pacific Northwest, Northeast. We gotta hit.
Cheddar says negative 35 degrees Celsius is not uncommon now. I don't know what that is. What is Celsius? Super cold? I have no idea.
It South proper. You gotta go to the place where everything's bigger and your money goes.
Pat says climate change is BS. Well, nobody else believes in it. Nobody else. Like, okay, America, we got climate change. You watch fucking CNN, climate change. Watch out. Oh, there's a fire. That's climate change. Oh, there's a car crash. That's climate change. Fucking hurricanes. Wow, there's always been fucking hurricanes, though. Like, for real, there's always been hurricanes. China doesn't believe in it. China doesn't give two shits about climate. No, nowhere else. Just us. No, we have to pay more for like gasoline and energy and shit because climate change is a problem. And watch out, Florida's going to disappear. I've been hearing that shit since the 90s. Since I was a kid in school. In my California public school, they're all like, Florida's gone. It's a goner, man. By the year 2000, it's gone. Oh, by the year 2010, it's gone. Oh, by the year 2020s, no more polar bears. Yeah, we're still fucking here. Shut the fuck up, okay? No one believes any of that bullshit anymore. No one, just stop. Just shut up. But people do believe it. People are retarded. People are retarded. You know people lie to you? Do you understand that people will lie to you for their own means, for their own agenda? You realize this. No, they don't. No, they don't. They've just been lied to so often, so much, all their life that they are like, this has to be true. There's no way everybody would lie to me my entire life. No. Yeah, they will absolutely do that. They'll have no problem doing that. Of course they're going to do that. Why wouldn't they do that? They're trying to make money off of you. They're going to lie to you all day long. And you're going to buy it because eventually you're just going to give up and be like, okay, I guess it's true. You know how many people live in Florida? It's like 20 million people here. You think they're all like, oh, Florida's going to be gone? No. Obama bought a beach house, for God's sakes. He doesn't even believe it.
Along the way. We're talking about Texas. If you have an appetite to live in Fort Worth, Texas, you can deal with the humidity. Brother cousin, you can live in a Pokemon healing center. This place is huge.
Is that a Poke Gym?
The current owner is among the first 20 to use Midjourney to create Pokemon porn. But if you can...
Okay, I'm trying to erase that from my brain. Okay, what is Charizard doing? Get out of my head, Charizard! No! Blastoise, run! It's terrible. That's a terrible... It's already in my head, and it's there forever. right? I'm going to wake up. I'm going to be sleeping tonight in a cold sweat. I'm like, Blastoise, no! Oh. Why couldn't it be the hot nurse? Oh, no.
You can get past that. I mean, it's a massive place. This living room is huge, flows right into the kitchen.
You guys fucking seeing this? You guys seeing this too? You guys seeing that shit right there? I don't hate it. I'm not going to lie. I don't hate it. I don't hate that.
Gorgeous.
Charizard getting down on Blastoise, I hate. This, I could live with.
Older kitchen, but who gives a shit? I get a nostalgic feeling from this. Look at that dishwasher. Can't be any newer than 1982. That's when Teflon had cancer in it, guaranteed. That's when
Teflon still has cancer in it. Teflon is cancer. It is cancer that you're cooking all your food in. And look, I got plenty of it in my nuts too, right? I got all the Teflon, all the C8s. They're all like gumming up my nut works and shit. And you do too. All of you. You guys all have Teflon in your balls, okay? That's why it's so hard to get somebody pregnant. It's because like the sperm just kind of slides off like an egg. It just slides off, right? And you're like, wow, this is really convenient in cooking, but now we're going to go extinct because of it. Nobody on the planet, listen to me, nobody on the planet has tested negative for C8s in their bloodstream. No one. Nobody on the planet Earth has tested negative for C8s in their bloodstream. No one. That's bad news. Everybody has it. Everybody has this very toxic forever chemical in their blood, in their nuts. You're never going to get rid of it. Never, 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 never. It's like radiation, right? It is in you forever. You have to limit your exposure. And yes, it will have long-term health effects. It is going to kill you. Well, assuming you don't get hit by a bus or something. Or shot in a war. We're going into a war, right? There's going to be like a war. Is everyone's saying war on Twitter? Is that going to happen? Because I feel like it's just like this is going to blow over again until another one gets shot. I'm just saying. Everyone's getting their kits together and their fucking plate carriers and their AR-15s and stuff like that. I'm like, great, what are you going to do? Hey, what are you going to do? You're going to go wipe out the anime convention? You're going to go to Reddit headquarters and start taking dog tags? No, you're not. No, you're not. You're going to go to college campuses and fucking you're going to shoot at the big purple-haired, fucking fat chick with the big thick rimmed glasses and stuff like. No, you're not. Of course not. Yeah. The reason the left is just absolutely impervious is because of their absolute patheticness. They're completely harmless. 99% of them. 99.99% of them. I mean, even the guy who shot fucking Charlie Kirk, I'm going to say that with quotations because, I don't know. I'm kind of a conspiracy guy. I think something's up. He's got to weigh 90 pounds, right? If you ran up when he's on a college campus or something like that, he would just have no chance. And then you'd feel bad for shooting him. You would feel bad for that. But like one day a screw's going to come loose in his brain and he's going to climb up on a rooftop and then fucking shoot, somebody important. That's the problem. That's the problem. There's just no honor in killing them, right? There's no achievement there. And this is their power. They stab you in the back and they're like, oh, I'm being genocided. And then you're like, oh, gross. It is a strange power that they have.
Tupperware is made out of airplane plastic. It's probably tough enough to convert it to a safe. So, worthwhile vintage appliance. You got a second
Lucas says that tracks. It tracks, yeah.
story, littered with Pokemon.
Like, basically, all of them are underweight or overweight. Nobody is physically healthy enough to carry out a war. And so there would be one army, there would be one well-organized and well-armed army, and then just a bunch of people hiding in attics. Right? It's just, what are you're hiding at the Pokemon? Is it a Magic the Gathering type of a thing? Oh, please, no, take all my Funko Pops. I don't want your Funko. Oh, forget it. Until they go crazy and like shoot a politician. This is why for years people have been like, let's just talk. Okay, can we just talk? Boom. Okay, that was kind of messed up, but can we just talk? Boom. See? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Keep talking? You're going to keep talking? Or are you going to go in and then, like, massacre a bunch of fat liberals? I mean, like, either way, it's not going to be great. It's just not going to be great. People are coming to their wits' end, though. It's always been a problem. Don't get me wrong. It's becoming far too much of a problem. It's becoming far too much of a problem. Like, when is the next guy with long hair and fucking lipstick that's poorly applied, and he's like, I have no dick. I have no dick. Someone's going to pay for this. When is the next time he's going to, like, I don't know, shoot up something that doesn't need to be shot up? You know? Because it will happen again. Right? And then everyone's going to be like, this is war, this is war, this is war. Okay, fine. Who? Who are you going to war with? Who are you going to shoot at? You're going to all those Antifa people? Because the instant they see a well-armed militia marching down the street, they're taking those bandanas off, and they're going to be like, oh, I'm going to go stand over here. It's not gonna, nothing, you know? They cosplay. They're LARPers, right? They're LARPers until one of them does something dangerous, does something terrible. And then, what? What are you going to do? This is an honest question. It's an honest question. Who do you fight? Who are you going to fight? A bunch of weak-wristed fucking pansies? Is that who you're going to absolutely massacre? I mean, maybe that's going to be the case. Something's got to happen. Something has got to happen. Because, yeah, they look all harmless and stuff like that, but they can still pull a trigger. They can still carry a rifle up onto the rooftop and stuff. And, yeah, the guy was, like, 22, and he's like, I have Teflon in my balls. And I'm like, well, that sucks. And I get that your like mind is kind of messed up because it's filled with microplastics and stuff. So, yeah, I'm still gonna have to shoot you. I'm not gonna feel good about it. And like, there's a lot of you, so it's like, but I can't. You know, I just can't not do it. You know. So and then. Everyone's going to have this real tough conversation with not only the people they're about to shoot, but themselves too, right? And then, because they're going to be like, I don't feel good about this, but like I know what's going to happen if I let you live, right? We all know what's going to happen. So we're just going to kind of clean house here. I'm all shoulders because, like, what else? What else is going to happen?
Paraphernalia. Top tier goon cave. 10
Lucas says millions will die. Yeah. But, like, I mean, those millions are going to, like, they weren't going to have a good life anyway. Let's be fair. You know, collecting Funko Pops and going to Mumford & Sons concerts is really, that's all they got. They're not going to have kids and, you know, it's it's not the biggest loss.
Neat nest. That
You
guitar.
know,
Buddy shreds.
and I feel almost bad saying that. Almost.
Man, this person is just never growing up. Pokemon.
Big B says none of them have read history. They have no idea how awful Civil War is. If it happens, the boot will come down on the neck and to the likes we've never seen. Yeah. Yeah, Civil War is not cool. Yeah. But it's now what the problem is now is both sides want it. It used to just be the left. You know, it used to just be the left and stuff. And the right kept like, let's just talk about this. Let's just boom. And then I think the people on the right just got tired of it. You know, got tired of losing politicians, losing political leaders and stuff like that. And so I don't know if it's going to happen soon. I don't know. I don't know. It looks kind of inevitable, and it does look like it'll be a bloodbath. I don't know. It's not
Texas
looking good.
is one of the states that lends to the boomer belief that you can get a lot for.
But hey, at least house prices will come down.
$50,000. But again, it all depends on your appetite and where you're willing to live. You just have to be willing to put up with humidity that was created by Satan. That's all. Texas in the summer, you know, the amount of sweat that's produced in your gooch, I think it starts to form wax.
Lucas says it'll be so much worse. Everyone depends on supply chains now. Yeah, but I'm okay where I am. I can like grow sweet potatoes and like fish for food and stuff, so I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I mean, we'll be okay. We'll have our cult and everything, right? And we're going to be armed to the teeth.
It's challenging, and I don't think that's just because
I'm just kidding. All right, this is a joke channel. I make jokes on this channel. This is all jokes.
I live in California. I think it'd be challenging for most people. I think it would even
don't
break some
take
of
me
Asia's
seriously. Please do not take me seriously. I don't want to stoke the fires of hatred any more than I already do. It's becoming a serious issue. It has gone way too far. It's gone way too far. And like, ugh. I'm just like, oh man, I just want to like raise my kids and like, you know, have a decent career and like just be able to afford things. And you couldn't let me do that. No. And so the political environment isn't the only situation. It's not the only problem we have going on. It's, you know, people can't afford food. People can't afford a place to live and shit like that. It's just, we're coming to the end of the fourth turning. That's what this is. This is the fourth turning. This is that 80-year cycle that has the boom and bust, and we're at the end of the bad times. It's going to get bad. It's going to be bad, right? It is the bad times, but it is the end of the bad times. By mid-2030, something like 2030s, 2035, maybe something like that, it'll be much better. But from here to then, it's going to be bad. It's going to be very bad. It will be very bad. I want to be clear with you guys. It is going to be very bad. This entire thing has happened before basically every 80 years. It's going to happen again. The historical corollaries are there, and you just got to read them like a book. This is exactly what happened time after time after time after time. All right? It's just going to happen again. But after that, whoever survives it's going to be good times again, right? For another 80 years.
Best, and they deal with crazy humidity over there. That said, Texas has a lot of options for $250,000. It's just you got to deal with that weather. I think maybe that's the point that people want boomers to understand. It's not that
they won't.
You know,
the boomers don't give a shit. They got theirs. They don't give a shit. Making them understand is a exercise in futility. They don't give a shit.
They can't get a place for a decent price. It's that you're going to have to make some kind of brutal sacrifice. You might have to make a major change. You got to go to an entirely different state. You got to live outside the city. Maybe you got to live in an area that isn't safe. And again, a boomer might push back and go, well, I had to make sacrifices too. I think that's the crux of it. Even before you get to the point of sacrifices, you got to be able to afford it. The bottom line is money doesn't go as far, and I think some boomers just don't have empathy for that. It's not that people aren't willing to work for it. It's that even when they do, they're left with shit options. Even referring to the guy at the beginning of this video. Him and his wife have very good jobs, and they're looking at homes, at $500,000, and while they can afford it, the reality is setting in that all that hard work just goes into the home. And it might even make you question why even
That's true.
get a house in the first place.
Well, because it'll protect you from hyperinflation. Assuming that you can pay off your debts, right? If you can get, you're going to need to get a loan, right? And hyperinflation, if you owe $400,000, but it takes you like an afternoon to earn $400,000 because $400,000 won't buy you a loaf of bread, then hey, you still have a place to live. That's not the worst. That's not the worst thing in the world, right? You still have a place to live. You pay them the $400,000 because that was the deal, right? It's not what $400,000 is worth. It is just simply $400,000, regardless of how much it is actually worth. So, might not be the worst idea. Just saying.
You're just working to live. It doesn't feel like you can win. That being said, guys, it's time to pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. You and your friends piece up to own.
I don't know what's going on with Rumble. I don't know what. Oh, the weather here is bad. That's what's going on.
The Pokemon house. Stream yourself, cracking Pokemon card packs, streaming the games, every edition of Pokemon, 24/7. Anything you can do to afford that home. Start an Etsy store with custom Pokemon body pillows. All right. Charge extra for an embedded fleshlight. Not only
embedded. Wow. So I can get my own Blastoise pillow, and I can put a thing in it, and so my dreams won't haunt me anymore.
only are there affordable homes out there,
good.
they can all be converted into businesses. Because at the end of the day, that's what America's all about. Buying your living space.
Curb Shifter says, yeah, just pay them the $400K. It's just $450. Just pay it now. It's just $500,000. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
And turning every facet of your life into an LLC. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.
Big B says, go outside and shoot the weather. That'll stop it. I mean, usually it does. Usually if I shoot my gun up at, like, hurricanes and stuff, it'll go away. It gets scared and it runs away. Ardent Shara gave me this one. It's breaking the creepy AI in police cameras. I don't know what it's about, but I'll watch it.
Probably seeing a whole bunch of these things. And in some places they're so common that you don't even notice them. They just blend into the background like they're trees or streetlights. And you've probably correctly assumed that they're recording traffic. They're also recording and logging license plates.
I'm East Coast.
And using AI image recognition. But what if I told you that they are in fact not owned by your local police department or your local government, but are licensed to them by a third-party startup? And all of your vehicle's whereabouts are being tracked by a third-party data broker. What if I also told you that major retail chains are also using them, and they're combining your vehicle's whereabouts with your personal information, your shopping habits, and even your in-store behavior? And some of them are giving that information to law enforcement. And what if I told you that
That's not ideal.
that I just possibly may have come up with a way
Onia says I keep getting suggested this video. Well, then you watched it.
to break it?
Banger! Banger! Okay, I was feeling it.
Colorado family was being driven to a shopping center in a stolen
They got a little ratatouille.
vehicle.
Is that the same guy?
And they would have gotten away with it without cutting-edge technology.
Yeah, this is not surprising.
Alerting police of their crime.
Nah, that was actually an OCR error.
Well, this New Mexico woman and her 12-year-old sister were driving to the park with a stolen license plate when AI-enhanced technology allowed police to,
That one was another computer vision error.
well, get a their car.
Wait, I'm sorry. So wait, So AI is doing the cop's job now and being like, this car is stolen, and they're not even double checking. They're not running through the system. It's like, hey, Alpha Tango Sierra 6 or 9er. And then they're all like, oh, that's not stolen. That's, I'm sorry, my computer No! They just come in and start tasing. I get it. I would too.
A thieving woman of color caught red-handed.
No, she's black. She's not of color. She's black. No, I hate this of color / not of color. So if somebody's of color, they're okay. They're like downtrodden and abused, and if they're not of color, they're the automatic perpetrator. They're the bad guy. Fuck you. Fuck you. Shut the fuck up.
Nope, just a glitch. This situation keeps happening.
Lucas says there's a lot of retarded cops. You have no idea. You think I don't know there's a lot of retarded cops? Yeah. I do know that.
All over the country. Your tax dollars pay startups to rent AI superpowers to law enforcement. And then the following year, your tax dollars pay the lawsuit settlements when it doesn't work. Flock Safety is a startup that was founded in 2017 that specializes in developing and leasing
Is that the guy that shot Charlie Kirk?
security cameras that have AI capabilities such as license plate recognition and vehicle identification. And these security cameras feed into databases that law enforcement, private companies, and even private citizens can access and utilize. And if you own a car in the United States, you have unquestionably been logged within one of these databases. It works like this. You drive
I
past
believe
a
that.
Flock Safety camera and it records an image.
Big B says, yep, they're just following orders. Of course they are. Look, hiring retards for cops is not a mistake. It's not an error. And then they get called, the city's finest. And they're like fucking just sitting there with a slack jaw. It's not a fucking error. They do that on purpose. Right? Because stupid people ask less questions. Stupid people are less likely to, weigh the ethical options and be like, should I follow these orders? Because it kind of seems pretty bad, You get a stupid one, he'll do whatever you fucking say because he still wants to get paid and he's probably addicted to fast food and shit like that. You ever wonder why there's so many fucking fat cops? You ever wonder? It's partially the reason. Partially. Also, being a cop is kind of boring.
Video. An image segmentation model or something similar looks for the license plate itself or a rectangle.
What if this guy's a patsy? It was probably an Israeli auto-aiming sniper system set up by... Look. That's a theory. Yeah, the patsy thing rolled through my mind. It says Pooh 5000. Look, dude, I've thought about that. Yes. What do you want? It doesn't matter. I mean, really doesn't matter. People are still pissed, and people are going to believe what they believe. Right? The times where it's just like, oh, we got the guy, everything's over. That's over. That ended a long time ago, right? That's what happened to like JFK. They arrested Patton Oswalt. He got assassinated by another guy, Jack Ruby, and everyone just stopped asking questions about it. They're all like, well, that's the end of that. A very boomer thing to do. There's nothing further here to investigate at all. I'm just going to keep doing this with my hands and then sit in my $1 million house that I paid $5,000 for. Yeah, people don't do that anymore. People ain't doing that shit no more. All right? This is like I said, it is the end of the fourth turning. People are done just taking shit for like, oh, you say this? Okay, that must be true. People ain't doing that shit anymore. By the way, it's 8 o'clock. We're going to hop on over to Rumble Premium. And I hope you guys are able to stay. If not, thanks for coming. And I will see you guys on Monday. Goodbye. Okay. Look, I have an option between premium exclusive or local supporters only. Premium exclusive gets both of them. So